What's up, you team of beautiful savages? How's it going? My name is Tom, and today we're gonna check out here's why you never wanna mess with the guards of the Tom, the unknown soldier. So let's jump in.
Man behind the change the rail! Get behind the rail! Man behind the change the rail!
The tomb of the unknown soldier is guarded round the clock by some of the most elite soldiers in the world, but the lives of this exclusive band of guards have spent centuries shrouded in mystery. Everything from their lifestyles, rules and regulations, all the way to what they are allowed to do to tourists that get too close. Ready to take a peek behind America's most fearsome soldiers and see why they should never be messed with? Let's get started.
I mean, these guys are rough. Imagine being a guard that have to do a certain moves. You're allowed to move only forward and backwards, do certain moves that are made by the protocol, man, and do it all the time. This is so crazy. I mean, I don't know how long they are standing there. I mean, maybe you guys know, maybe before they get changed, right? But here in Latvia, at the Monument of Freedom, those guys stand at least 4 hours, just stand in one place and just, that's it. I mean, even in winter,
the tomb of the
sometimes.
unknown soldier is one of the most guarded places on Earth, with civilians first patrolling the site from 1925 to prevent families from having picnics near the tomb. While the military would take over from 1926, it wasn't until 1937 that a continuous rotating guard schedule was implemented. Since then, the tomb has been continuously guarded 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The patrol has never once stopped, not even through the September 11 attack, Hurricane Isabel, and an earthquake in 1944 that measured 5.9 on the Richter scale. So, where do these unknown soldiers come from? Well, unfortunately, in the theater of war, it isn't always practical or even possible to collect all the fallen bodies of your squad, especially in the heat of the battle. For this reason, it can sometimes be weeks, months, or even years until the remains are discovered. Back then, we didn't have the luxury of DNA profiling or reliable ways to match the list of missing soldiers with the discovered corpses. So for many soldiers, they were buried in graves simply marked unknown. Can they?
I mean, I'm fascinated that those guys are wearing sunglasses. It's very strange for me because I have never seen in democratic countries that guards are wearing sunglasses, so maybe there's a special reason for that, except that it's sunny, maybe they can observe what's happening without anybody noticing it, something like that.
Shoot. When the Sentinels first took up their post, they were armed with the famous Springfield M1903 bolt-action rifle from World War I. These were soon replaced by the M1 Garand and eventually the M14 rifle. A ceremonial stock remains affixed to the gun. However, most on-duty Sentinels do not have the 20-round magazine attached. So, with the magazine missing, are these rifles just for show? It's rumored that each rifle has one round chambered just in case. But if worse comes to worse, the tomb sergeant has a fully loaded pistol ready to deploy. Oh, and in case you're wondering, they are fully authorized to shoot anyone who disrespects the sanctity of the unknown soldier's tomb.
Wow, I mean, even shoot. Man, this is this is serious. I mean, sometimes, you get arrested. Here in Latvia, if you do some silly stuff, piss on the Monument of Freedom, you're gonna get arrested. But over there, man, these guys are taking it seriously.
So, even if you were kind of sure the rifles weren't loaded, you wouldn't want to take your chances.
No, sir.
Man behind the change the rail!
Tomb guard salary. The burning question on everyone's minds, how much do these elite soldiers get paid? Soldiers in the old guard are paid the same as any other service member of the same rank and time and grade, and are also entitled to compensation for extraordinary expenses and additional dress uniforms. The thing is, the Sentinels do not display rank insignia. This is done so as not to outrank the buried unknown soldier, whatever their rank may have been. However, sources point to an average salary of about $43,000 $1,800 per year for this elite role. But
Not too
don't
bad.
hold your breath. These soldiers are all there because they consider it a sacred honor to have the opportunity to guard the unknowns. Disrespecting a tomb guard.
Man, I wouldn't love to do it. I wouldn't like to do it. And I have seen some crazy people in London disrespecting the guards of the Buckingham Palace, man. They got destroyed after that. I mean, like, this is so dumb. But in the same time, for us normal people who won't do it, we can watch some dumb people doing it, yes, and we will see what happens to these kind of people, you know.
Visitors to the tomb of the unknown soldier are warned to exercise the utmost respect during particular ceremonies. They are required to stay behind the fenced-off viewing area and to remain standing and silent for the duration. If anyone tries to approach the tomb or is too loud and disruptive, the sentinel will interrupt the ceremony and give a single verbal warning while moving his rifle to the ready position.
It is requested that everyone maintain an atmosphere of silence and respect at all times.
If that person continues to breach the tomb
Man.
or be disruptive, the tomb guard is authorized and expected to use lethal force.
Get behind the rail!
This can be anything from laughing or talking loudly during parts that demand silence, crossing the chain boundary near the tomb, or acting inappropriately. The tomb of the
Wow, this is rough. I mean, this is really rough.
unknown soldier is a place where tourists, Karens, and inconsiderates are taught a thing or two about respect.
It is requested that all visitors remain behind the chains and rails at all times. Behind the chains and rails.
Where do sentinels live? Guards of the tomb of the unknown soldier have a few accommodation choices available after their shift. While most of the sentinels live
Man, imagine him going down the street like this with this face, with the glasses. He looks like a Terminator from Terminator 1 when Arnold Schwarzenegger was playing, like, I need your clothes and your bike.
an adjacent
Something like
barracks at
that.
Fort Myers. For those that have 24-hour shifts, they can retreat to a secret hidden quarters buried under the steps of the tomb's amphitheater. When they're not sleeping or on active duty, sentinels use the space for study and training. Their day begins at 5 a.m. with arrival at the Tomb Quarters 1 for duty. The tomb guards will inspect the quarters, prepare their uniforms, review orders, and receive their duty assignments for the coming day. At 6:30 a.m., the tomb guards inspect the trainees' readiness and uniforms. If a trainee meets relevant standards, the tomb guards may allow them to walk the first morning guard change known as a bolo at 7 a.m. The evening bolo will be the final change and walk of the day. Between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m., when the public is allowed access to the memorial, tomb guards will perform several ceremonies including walking the mat, changing of the guard, and various wreath-laying ceremonies. Why tomb guards are so elite?
I mean, they are local famous people, you know. People come to watch them basically without any promotion. Like, I mean, the place which they are guarding, it's promoting the tomb guards. So basically, yeah.
Guard is essentially ceremonial special forces, and despite their seemingly repetitive and easy job, they represent the very best of the best the Army can offer. It's so elite that less than 20% of all volunteers are accepted for training,
Wow.
and of those, only a fraction pass training to become fully fledged tomb guards. Special number 21. You see the number 21 repeated a lot in the military, and for the tomb guards this is especially true.
21.
During the walking of the mat, sentinels take 21 steps before turning to face the tomb for 21 seconds. After changing the shoulder of their weapon and turning to face down the mat, the guard pauses for another 21 seconds before again marching for 21 steps. The sentinel then repeats this over and over until the guard change ceremony begins. 21 is seen as the highest honor awarded to military personnel. The 21-gun salute is used to respect high-ranking military officers, presidents, and members of a royal family. Furthermore, the first ever unknown soldier was buried on the 11th of November 1921. The unknown American soldier's remains were exhumed from a cemetery in France and repatriated to the U.S., where it was laid to rest below a 3-level marble tomb. Tomb guard.
I mean, like, I just wanna say the main idea of the unknown soldier's tomb. this is how they paying respect to the USA like army and people who died during wars, who were unrecognized. So for the people who come in, who are new, they also know that if you're gonna die and you won't be recognized, you're still gonna get the respect. I'm not sure if it's gonna help you after you die, but still, you know.
Are training secrets. To become a tomb guard or sentinel, a soldier must be highly motivated, disciplined, and possess a strong military bearing and soldierly appearance. An application must be made through the sergeant of the old guard, and if successful, the soldier is assigned to the tomb for an initial 2-week training period. The training cycle is intense, consisting of a series of 5 grueling tests over 6 to 12 months. These tests focus on ceremonial performance, uniform preparation, and knowledge. At the end of the training cycle, trainees are expected to be able to flawlessly conduct 7 different types of ceremonies, meet the highest standards of uniform preparation, and recite 35 whole pages of information without error. If a trainee fails any test at any point, they are assigned back to their company. If a trainee is among the tiny number of successful applicants each year, they are awarded the Tomb Guard Identification Badge, and will from then on be referred to as a Tomb Guard or badge holder by their fellow sentinels. Just to illustrate how prestigious this title is, only around 700 Tomb Guard Identification Badges or TGIBs have been issued since the 1950s at a rate of about 10 per year. What's your opinion on the Tomb Guards? Let us know in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel with notifications on to make sure you never miss out on.
Listen, my opinion about Tomb Guards is that they are absolute savages, guys. Savages.